up guys, Zach Samuel Fit here, your source for all things fitness and self-development. I'm coming out with 3 videos every single week, so please hit that subscribe button. It would really help me out a lot. If this video helps you out, please hit that like button. I'd really appreciate it. So today I'm talking about the top 5 books that I have read on financial independence, on personal finance, and on money in general. So I'm going to say that if you haven't read any books on money at all, I would say read these in order. So I'm going to go number 5, number 4, 3, 2, 1. If you haven't read any books on money at all, I would say reading in order. If you're pretty well versed on personal finance books, pick whichever ones you want to read, but I'd suggest reading them in this order. So if you're a total beginner with these, start with number 5, work your way down. Without further ado, number 5 is The Millionaire Next Door, Thomas Stanley and William Danko. Now this book is more about changing your mindset about money and what a millionaire is. Okay, so when most people picture a millionaire, they think of someone who lives in a huge mansion, drives a Lamborghini, just spends a ton of money, has Gucci clothes, whatever, $10,000 watch, whatever it is. So most people think of someone who looks really rich. In this book, what the authors did was they conducted a study and they looked at all the millionaires, people who had a net worth of $1 million or more in the United States. And what they found was that the average millionaire just looked like an average person. They didn't have that typical millionaire feel. So what this book does is it changes your mindset or your idea of what a millionaire looks like, acts like, does. Millionaire, they found in the United States, is someone who is frugal, invests their money, doesn't, try to keep up with the Joneses. Like they don't try to look really rich without actually being rich. So they invest their money and they're smart with their money rather than just spending it on things that don't make them any extra money. This book really teaches you to become like these average millionaires, using money as a tool rather than just as something you spend. So there's a lot more detail in the book, and I think it's a really good foundational book for changing your mindset about money. Number 4 is The Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey. This book was amazing for me because I didn't know a lot about money when I first started reading these books, when I was reading this book actually. And I would suggest this book for like 18-year-old, right out of high school, and this is your go-to step-by-step process for being good with money. So basically what this book does is it gives you this full step-by-step process that involves a lot of things, tons of concrete examples. Biggest message is eliminating debt. So you're treating debt like an emergency and something that you have to get rid of no matter what. And he teaches you to get rid of the smallest debt first so that it snowballs and you get kind of motivation that way. Also, a big takeaway is that you want to save up an emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of expenses. And what that's going to do is that in case you lose your job or anything unexpected happens, you have that cushion there so you're not going into debt to cover these emergency expenses. And he gives you step-by-step process of how to do that. So tons of concrete examples in this book, and definitely for money beginners, I would really suggest reading this book. Number 3 is I Will Teach You to Be Rich by Ramit Sethi. This book is a little bit more advanced than that Dave Ramsey book. This one is for maybe someone in their 20s who's starting out in the workforce and is in a salaried position and starting to make money. This book is really more about how to optimize your income and how to kind of hack a lot of systems. Like he gives you tons and tons of credit card and mortgage hacks. So in terms of lower interest rates, not paying yearly fees, like tons of credit card hacks in here, credit score hacks. He also tells you how to negotiate interest rates on mortgages, cars, credit cards, everything like that, like step-by-step guides on how to do it. Very concrete examples. I would really suggest picking this book up. And lastly, he also tells you how to set up an automatic investment plan, step-by-step guide on how to do that, and also like what amount to put in it, what account to use in specific situations based on your job and based on your age and your income level, all types of things like that. So really good investment plans in here, and really straightforward, easy to use automatic investing. Okay, number 2. Now we're starting to get into the FIRE movement, which is Financial Independence, Retire Early. So these books are more about getting you financially independent, meaning you don't need to rely on a full-time job or something that you don't want to do just because you need money. Okay, so the goal of these 2 books is to get you financially independent so that you're in a situation where if you don't like your job, you can quit your job and do something else with your time. Okay, so this number 2 is the foundational book for financial independence. It's called Your Money or Your Life, and it's by Vicki Robin and Joe Dominguez. So this book will completely transform your relationship with money. They tell you to calculate everything you've ever spent and all the money you've ever made, and look at the difference between those two. And if you don't have anything to show for all that work you've done, without judging yourself, it really puts in perspective what we do with our money, right? If we don't have anything to show for the 10 years or whatever it is of work that we did, it makes you kind of, look at your past and make peace with it in a way, and then move to the future in a more, in a way that's more aligned with your goals. Also, another big thing it does is that it helps you find your real earning for your job. And that's a really big mindset shift, I would say, is finding your real earnings for your job. Meaning, after taxes, after all the clothes you buy for work, after transportation costs to work, lunches at work, anything that's a work-related expense, how much do you actually take home after all those things? Taxes, deductions, work-related expenses, how much are you actually taking home? And what is your actual hourly pay, or your pay every week, or whatever it is that you get to keep for yourself. And it's a lot lower for most people, so it helps to put into perspective like what I'm actually trading my time and my energy for. This book helps you value your life energy and your time, and the main message is to spend your time and your life energy on things that really bring you fulfillment, and that make you a better person, and that you really enjoy to do with your time, rather than just trading your time for money. Okay, number 1 book, Early Retirement Extreme by Jacob Lundquist. Now, this is a complete textbook on lean fire. Okay, so lean fire is where you drastically reduce your expenses so that you can instead invest in businesses and have the money that you make off your investments cover your small expenses. That way, with your time, you can do whatever you want, things that are more fulfilling for you. So there's a 3-step process in this book. Step 1 is going to be reduce your waste and increase your efficiency. Step 2 is, having lowered your expenses, you're going to invest the rest of the money you make in businesses. And then step 3 is going to be find something meaningful to do with your time instead of just working salary job. In this book, not only it's foundational and theoretical, it's also super concrete, and they give you tons and tons and tons of examples on how to reduce your expenses. Like, there's an entire section on how to completely lower your expenses. I mean, this guy spends, I think, like $14,000 per year total on everything. And he lives in, I think, San Francisco. And he really gives you all these ideas on how to lower your expenses. Like, one amazing idea he shares is that you buy classics and you look at things like you're renting them. For example, he would buy a really nice watch and he would buy it used, and then after 3-4 years, when he's sick of it, he would sell it for close to the amount that he paid for it, because it's a classic and it doesn't really lose value. So really, if he paid, he lost $500 on the watch over 5 years, he got to rent this watch for $100 every year. And it was a really nice watch, like a Rolex or something like that. So that's just one tip, but he gives you literally hundreds of tips on how to completely lower your expenses. These books will change your life. Those top 2 will totally change your life and transform the way you look at money. So I hope you enjoyed this list. Let me know in the comments if you've read any of these books, if you agree, if you disagree with me, if you think there are better books on financial independence, financial freedom. I would love to hear it. And if I'm missing any, if I missed some books in your opinion, please let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, guys. Like this video if it helped you out at all. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you next time.